Hello, computer science geeks. Today we're going to learn about printf. Okay, so in short, printf is very much like print line. Actually, it's more like print. It's more like print, but it allows me to do some formatting and some cool rounding. Okay, so the formatting and rounding is what's really cool about printf. So let's just see what it would look like. So I can do System.out.printf, and I could just do hello, and then because it's like print, I would have to do a whack n at the end if I wanted to do like a print line. So there I got my hello. Hey, it's the same, right? Well, let's just say that let's see what else is different about this. What I can do is I can put special identifiers in here that are like escape sequences, %d, %f, and %s. And what this does is it allows me to, if I can get the n in there, I'll be great, to insert numbers or strings into these placeholders right exactly here. Now let me just put something here. Let me put something like, again, hello. And then what I do is after I put my format string, I'm going to put the actual values. So I might put 10, and then I'm going to put 20.5, and then I'm going to put yes. Okay, and so then when I print this up, you can see that what I did was right here where the %d was, I put the 10. And then right here where the %f was, I put the 20.5, and it formats it by default by having 6 decimal places afterwards. And where the %s was, I put the yes. So I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. What if I just want to print %? So like if I wanted to print % here, that would cause an error. If I just wanted to actually print hello, so we can see that there is an error. So if I wanted to actually print % there, then I have to double % it or escape it with another % sign. I know, another escape sequence that is different from what we're used to. So now you can see that I can print the % sign. So let me show you more of how this would done. Let's declare a variable a, which is of type int, and this is going to be 12. And then I'm going to create a variable which is of type double, and I'm going to have this be 13, just 3.1415926. And then I'm going to have my string s is going to equal to formatted. So now let me go with my System.out.printf, and I'm going to show you some of the things that are cool with this, right? So if I wanted to put formatted in quotes, I would have to put the quote here by escaping it, %s, and then another quote to put at the end of it. And then I can start to put some of the other things, such as the %d. The d is for decimal, and it's for integer. And a common mistake is to think the d is for double, but really the %f is for double, and f stands for floating point, d stands for decimal. So integer and decimal, double, and floating point. And I'm going to show you some of the formatting things that I can do with a floating point. If I only want to show one decimal place, then I'll put the decimal character here, and then I'll put 1 there. So now I need to put my string s. Note that this s is not matching the name. The main name doesn't mean anything. I'm just going to use %s as the placeholder. And it just happens to be that my string is the identifier s. So don't confuse the s and s, other than I should have named it something else there to make it less confusing. Maybe I'll do that in a second. The next comes up my decimal place, so I have to do this in order. So the first one is s, the next one is d. So I need to put my integer, and then I need to put my floating point or my double, which is n. Once I put all those parameters in there, you can see that I got my formatted such as 12. Okay, so I got the 12, and then there's a few spaces in there, that's why I have that. And then, oh, I did this wrong. So that was good. You can see that I did the %f, and then the 0.1 was actually printed at the end. So if I want to make this better, what I need to do is I need to do 0.1f. So if I put the 0.1 in front of the F, that's going to help in the formatting. If I put the 0.1 after the F, then it just prints 0.1. So, I love making mistakes like that. So here I have that. Now it will actually do some rounding. So let's say that I wanted to go out to more decimal places. So if I wanted to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places, I'll put the 4 there. Go out to 4 decimal places. Do you see how the 5 got rounded up to a 6? If I just wanted, and so here it rounded to the 10th place. And if I just want to round to the whole number, then I can actually put a 0 there. So that way it'll round to the nearest whole number, and it got rid of the decimal point entirely altogether, and that just rounded. So these are your most common ways to do the printf using the %s, %d, and %f. But there's also more we can do. So if I wanted to, let me get rid of, let's see, oh, I'm going to do System.out.printf. If I wanted my decimal place to take up 5 spots, then, or if I wanted my decimal number, my integer, then I could do %5d. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab out, so I can still use the escape sequence tab. I'm going to do %5.1f whack n. Now we're getting a little more complicated here. So what's going to do is it's going to have a placeholder for 5 spots for my integer right here. It's going to have a placeholder of 5 spots for my floating point number there. So if I put my decimal and my floating point number there, you can see that it printed 5 spots. It printed 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then I got my 12. Then it did a tab, and then I got, I don't know how far out the tab went. I can tell you exactly because I did 5 spots here. That's 1, 2, 3. So I got 2 spaces here. So my tab hardly did any. Maybe just to eliminate some of that confusion of how many the tab did, I'm just going to make it 1 space only. You'll see that that is actually going to print out to be identical. So this is a great way to space things out in a nice table and to round off numbers and to say it's going to be in this particular spot. If here I'm right aligning, so it went to the right side. If I want to left align, I can put a -5 in there. And so now you can see that my 12 takes up 5 spaces. I did 1 space, my 3.1 takes up 5 spaces, but that was right aligned. If I want to explicitly show that I'm doing right aligned, then I would do a plus sign there. So that is explicitly showing, oh no wait, that didn't do it. Maybe I don't do a plus sign to show that that I'm explicitly doing the right align. Maybe that just happens. The minus sign right there tells me that I'm going to do left align. So if I want to left align this one, let me left align that. So now they're both going to be left aligned, and I have the spaces, the padding here on the right hand side. So that is really cool. One last thing I want to show is if I wanted to show my formatted string, I could do System.out.format, and then I would do the same things that I do for my printf. So let me do quote percent minus, and I'm going to do 6d space percent minus, and then I'm going to do I'll do 6f3. So this is going to be left align, take up 6 spaces total. Left align, take up 6 spaces total. I'm going to include the decimal point with 3 decimal places after that. I'm going to make sure I get my whack n, and I'm going to do my a and my floating point number after that. And you're going to say, wait, oh, no print stream found for Java lang System.out.format. Could have sworn this was going to work. What if I take out, this should work. That worked. So it should work. I'm not sure. Maybe it's in this interactions here. So let me go ahead and do another string a equals. See if I get the same error. Oh, I've already redefined a. FF. I guess I just can't do it in my interactions window. It doesn't allow me to save it that way. But if you do that in your code, it can work. That can be handy when you're doing some coding. It's just the interaction windows that's causing some problems. But what it does is it would format that string, save it into a temporary variable, and then later on I could print out that variable in a different way. So that's the basics of it. Again, so some of the things you want to know is that %d is for integer. Okay, %f is for double. %s is for strings. Okay, they have to align up in what we're doing. And then what we'll do is after the percent, we could do a negative is for left aligned. And then we do a number before the decimal point or before the escaped character. It's for padding into 3 spaces. And then we can do for a formatted number or a floating point is for padding into 5 spaces rounded to 3 decimal places. So those are the basics. If you get that down, you'll be doing great with the %f. I challenge all of you to stop doing print and print line and start doing printf. You'll find that after you use it for a while, it becomes very natural, and then it can become very handy later on.